you know, as we go on, the whole satsang develops itself. Of course, we jointly make it up as we go. There's nothing in my head that would say, okay, let's talk about this, or let's talk about lesson number 1 or 16. So we make it up. If anyone wants to give me a idea as to what they would like to talk about, or especially if it's concerning your practice, that's usually priority. So please ask something. Okay.
If not, we'll pull one out of the box.
If not, we'll pull one out of the box. Yeah.
We have a box.
You do?
Oh yeah.
Okay. It's a shoebox.
It's invisible, but we have a box.
It was just, I was just noticing, you know, in terms of practicing, or in terms of, you know, coming into being, the pull of, you know, the kind of the mind, and it's you know, it just seems to have such a strong kind of like effect, a kind of pulling effect. And I was, you know, just wondering where it was coming from, because I couldn't feel like it was coming from me, but it just seemed to be there, and you could, it was so easy to just slip into it. It just seems, yeah, it was just that, really.
But what happens is that it's so powerful, like Ben pointed out, that it attracts the appropriate reality to us. So we have fearful templates that makes us pay attention to things, and we have fearful thoughts, therefore fearful reality. Crippled thoughts, crippled reality. I could go on and on. Negative thoughts, negative reality. So the so-called law of attraction that is so popular is working really well for people. The law of attraction is right there. We have templates and people telling us where to put our fearful attention. And we're going to keep, most people keep manifesting the same reality over and over and over, because thoughts create our reality. So the so-called law of attraction is working really well, which brings up the question as to the whole idea as to the manifestations and law of attraction.
That's what I was going to pull out of the box.
which is what was in the box, apparently.
Yeah. We get a lot of questions about that. There's so much confusion about it. Why does it happen? Why doesn't it happen? Why does it happen to some people and not to others?
Not to others. And why is it that some people are so negative, yet they get positive results? Yeah. And on and on and on. Law of attraction implies that there's something there that is not here. So I want to attract that over here.
Yeah.
Which, if that's the case, that will never happen. Mm. But a good starting point actually is to say that law of attraction already works for us. Whatever thoughts we associate with, already creating our reality. So it's working really well. By well, I mean the law of attraction works really well, not that it's good for us. So the best way would be to handle this law of attraction / manifestation subject is we don't, what we want to do is stop law of attraction, stop attracting. That would be a good start. So we don't want law of attraction. We want to stop the current law of attraction.
Perfect.
It's working really well, but it's not satisfactory. So all we have to do is stop the law of attraction, and when that stopped, then we're nice and clear. Then we can manifest from a clear space, from a clear thought, anything we want, or alternatively, which is our preference, is to let the universe manifest through us whatever the universe wants. I found that the universe is much smarter than me, and can figure out what I should want. So which puts an interesting twist to the whole law of attraction. Yes, I can define what I want, but I cannot define. It's no point to define what I want on the top of crippled templates. Here's a crippled template that's already working, and I'm piling on the top what else I want. And so it's just going to confuse things, and we're going to have more and more kind of things to manifest that we don't really want. So it's we want to stop law of attraction. And once that's stopped, we are in the position of choosing our thoughts, or let the universe choose for us. Very significant. And what I'm saying is not very popular. People do want to tell God what they want, which is possible once you have a clear sheet.
It's amazing. We were speaking about this in the coffee shop this morning, and I almost fell off the chair. And Gabor said, "You have to stop law of attraction." I said, "What do you mean stop it?" Remember that?
Yeah.
He's saying, "Well, it's already happening. We're already doing it, but we're doing it. We're attracting based on our templates that are full of fear. So what's the point?"
Yeah, exactly. So Ben, it's the mind's attraction and power is it's so much that anything else we want to do, it makes it difficult. So our only chance or choice that I know of is to bypass it. Any kind of tinkering with the mind, any kind of adjusting it or controlling it or arguing with it or fighting it will not work. However, bypassing it, as you guys have all practiced, works really well. And no matter how much power the mind has on this level, with its law of attraction, it can be bypassed. If let's say the magnetism is 1,000 Gauss, or 10,000 Gauss. I think that's
I've never heard that word.
The Gauss is somebody educated tell me, I think it's magnetism.
Is that single for geese?
No. Adrian knows. You measure magnetic power as Gauss. Gauss. Okay. I just wanted to show off how educated I am.
My blonde is showing.
So if it has a magnetic power of 1,000 or 10,000, it doesn't really matter, because if it's 1,000, we're bypassing. If it's 10,000, we're bypassing. If it's 5, we're bypassing. To tinker with it in any way, in my opinion, and of talking to people all over the world for a long time, it's totally useless. No matter how smart it sounds. Sometimes the therapy or something sounds so good, it's so smart, but it usually the mind wins on the end, meaning that the mind gets us into all kinds of things just to make sure that we participate on its level. And if we still participate on its level, we always lose. Of course, once we sufficiently bypassed it, eventually the mind becomes a friend. So we won't have to be concerned about it. It's just at the beginning it behaves like an enemy that we need to bypass, or whatever the word is. Okay.
So she's asking, how do you interpret?
How do you decreate beliefs?
How do you
deconstruct belief systems? Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well, we deconstruct belief systems by not deconstructing them. It would make sense that we take a belief system brick by brick and kind of destroy them, or shift part of the belief system. It's a common belief that if you take it apart and perhaps replace it, then we can shift the belief systems. But in my experience, that doesn't work at all. The way we deconstruct belief systems is, let's just imagine that the belief systems is like a high-rise building. It's one thing layers on the top of another, and if I took it out brick by brick from the top, the mind is so smart, it replaces the building bricks with another brick. The way it actually works is that I go to the foundation of the high-rise building and basically demolish it, meaning that basically blow up the foundation of it so it collapses. And that may or may not be a good metaphor, actually, because how we deconstruct it is by bypassing it so much that we're not giving it any energy, by not talking to it, not finding it. And the more the belief system comes at us through the mind, look at this, look at this, look at this, look at this, or feel this and feel that, and how about this and how about that, the more boldly we can just bypass. It doesn't matter how strong the belief system is, we can bypass it. Sometimes, the stronger the belief system, the gentler is the bypassing that we need to use. Mm-hmm. It's not always linearly proportionate. Like the strong belief system, strong bypass. Sometimes a very strong belief system could be bypassed with just a very gentle attention shift. So the belief systems are there. They may or may not be actually yours, if that mattered at all. So we never ever deconstruct them. Always bypass them. And then what happens is that the whole belief system eventually will shift usually to a love-based belief system rather than a fear-based belief system. So, was that answering your question, Maria? She was waving, I guess.
Yeah.
I guess she was. Okay.
Go like this.
Yeah, you can go like this.
We can't hear, just for people who are watching this, if it ever gets on YouTube.
Yeah,
we can't hear Maria. She's in France.
Cool.
So she goes like this, so she got the answer.
Good. Okay.